All right, I'm going to show you how to work with text in your TaleSpring book app. The first thing we're going to do is set up a page, which I've done here, and I want to add a title to this. So I'm going to add some text by clicking on the Add Text button over here, and that's going to give me a text box to work with. In that text box, I can type anything that I need to. And now I can move that anywhere around the screen by just grabbing it and moving it like an object. So I'll place it right up here, and you'll see over on the right hand side now it's already selected for me, and I have some opportunity to manage the text in there. I can change the font family to a handful of font families given here, and I'm going to change this to a serif font. I also have some opportunity to change the size, so you can mess with the size a little bit. And I can also change the color by coming into this color palette, selecting around, finding a color that you like. And I just want to make a note too, if you take a note of these values over on the right hand side, so you have the RGB values, the hue, saturation, and brightness values, you can even put in a hex code. Take a note of these so that you can transfer this color from page to page without having to guess at where you were. So once I've chosen my color, I just close that, and there I've got a color. I also want to show you how to work with text when it comes to adding an audio file and doing the synchronization. So I've got a text block down here and an audio file that reads this text, and I want to be able to have this read the book to my readers. So I select on that block, and here on the left hand corner I've got a little audio button. If I click on that, I get a list of all of the audio files that are available to me to select, and this is covered in another one of my videos. But down here I'm going to select page 1 text, which is an audio file that reads this particular text. And it's now going to give me an opportunity to highlight this text in synchronization with the audio file. And this is kind of tricky, and it's going to take a few practice turns for you to just get it right, but I'm just going to show you how it works. This may not turn out perfectly, but what we're going to do is this. I'm going to play the audio and highlighting. So once I select
I was
that,
walking on the beach one day when I
right
looked
now
out to the sea,
reading what
and
I've
there
already
on the
done.
horizon.
So I'm going to redo this, and I'm going to start the sync. If I click on Start Sync, it's going to ask me immediately to start following the audio file as it's playing with each word as it's going along. So what I need to do is click on this bar once the audio file starts for every word that is spoken. So I'll show you how this works. It's kind of tricky, but once you kind of get it and practice a few times, you can pick it up pretty quickly. So I've clicked on
I was
that.
walking on the beach one day when I looked out to the sea, and there on the horizon was a ship approaching me. I could see a lot of sails and a flag above the mast, and what I saw upon it left me feeling quite aghast.
So now I can save that. And what I did is I clicked on this button for every spoken word as it went along. This is a lot of text, so it's kind of difficult to stay ahead, and there's a cadence that I have to follow. But most typically, you've got 1 or 2 lines. You can just follow along, and I'll save that. And now I can play audio and highlighting, and I'll play this one more time.
I was walking on the beach one day when I looked out to the sea, and there on the horizon was a ship approaching me. I could see a lot of sails and a flag above the mast, and what I saw upon it left me feeling quite aghast.
So you can see I didn't get that exactly perfect, so I might come in here and try that again by just clicking this redo button, and it will start again. So I can hit start and then click through the buttons again. So that's how you work with audio and syncing with your text in the TaleSpring environment. Now I want to show you one other thing, because I did something just a little bit different. I was wanting to add my own custom font into the book, and of course you can't do that. I'm limited to these few font families here. So what I did is I created an environment in a Photoshop or Pixelmator, and created this scroll artwork and placed my text on it. So you can see in this, this is Pixelmator, and I can actually show you all the different layers as we go through. So I actually created a scroll that I sized exactly how I wanted it for each page, or you can actually take this and resize it for each block of text that you want to enter. but I'm putting the text in then basically as a graphic into my book. So I added the text to each page. I worked this out for every one of my pages, and I'll come back into TaleSpring here and show you what this looks like on an actual page. So this is my page 1, and I've got the text down here. It's basically shrunk down into a button, and when I do a page preview, on page load, I actually have that button expand out immediately, so it presents the viewer with a graphic image of my text in my special pirate font. They can read through this. They can even click this button down here to hear me read it to them, or they can put it away just by clicking on the scroll anywhere you go. So I can always bring it back, and I can put it away, and I'll show you how to do that animation in another video. But that's how I handled the text in my book. Is I wanted this special font, so I put it into a graphic, imported the graphic, and then animated the graphic to present itself each time I come to a new page. But that's how we work with text in the TaleSpring environment.